Geoholics.
This one comes out of the gate pretty fast.
Some people like to rock, some people like to roll, but moving and a groove is gonna satisfy my soul. Let's have a party.
Let's have a party.
Let's do it.
Let's have a party.
Oh, man. Welcome back, Geoholics, episode 284.
284, believe it or not.
284, indeed. We've got our good friend Will Wing in studio tonight. Good to see you, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.
Been a bit.
Yes.
We're going to circle back and find out how your life is here in just a minute, but we appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
What's going on? We got a lot of stuff going on right now.
News and happenings.
We're at that bullet point.
We're at the segment in the show.
Yes, exactly. I leave tomorrow morning, actually, to head to Orlando for Topodot User Conference.
10th anniversary of the old Tuck 26.
Yes. Yeah, I'm excited. They're giving out these really cool cowboy hats. I messaged Jennifer. I'm like, save me one of those.
Yeah.
Do not let that go. So excited to get my hands on one of those and just catch up with everybody. It's always a great event. Tons of cool people. And Topodot always does it right, for sure.
Absolutely.
Other than that,
Yeah, what else is coming up for us?
settling into the new studio. This is episode 2 from the new studio.
It is.
So that's pretty exciting. Still working out some audio issues. So if you guys are hearing an echo or a hum or anything like that,
They're not.
we apologize. Sean assures me that you're not. But if you are, we apologize.
Sorry.
But other than that, as I said, well, great to see you. And what's new, man? It's been a bit since we've seen you.
Yes. No, thank you. Just been a whirlwind as usual, you know.
Yep. Business is good?
Yes.
Nice.
Went to DC for the NSPS conference. Got to see Alex and Taylor, meet them in person.
Perfect.
Yes. My first time, you know, like I said, long time viewer, first time visitor there.
Yep.
And
Did you love it?
Oh, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, for a surveyor, a history dork, to be able to see that stuff and touch it and see it and feel it and it was awesome. But I mean, just, you know, I think we had 46 states represented this year.
That's amazing.
Which I think that's the biggest it's ever been. And
Crazy.
so, I mean, I was just kind of a spectator this time around, just trying to take it all in.
Yeah.
And I went with Mike Banta, and he was definitely a great, you know, he's a mentor to me and kind of showing me the ropes and everything. But it was, definitely gonna keep doing that because you know, we hear all these things that come down the pipeline, but you don't ever know. And I was always the guy that's like, well, what's going on up there? You know, I want to go see this stuff. And so, you know, Kent, you've been there when you're in the congressman's office and you're meeting these people, like that's how shit gets done.
Yeah.
And so being able to get a front row seat on it and then just see the YSN participation was, I think, 150, 140 students or something like that. I'm sure Alex and Taylor can give you the details, but I mean, just, you know, we get into like these little things sometimes and we're like, we're dying out. There's not, you know, there's so many issues worldwide. And then you go to something like this and just see just this like, garden of freshness and it's just enthusiasm. So it was awesome.
So it sounds like it was pretty motivating.
Yes, absolutely. So
that's so cool.
Highly advise anybody that gets the opportunity to take advantage of it. And hopefully we can have a bigger presence there next year for Arizona, get some students, get them in the competition, because I mean, there's no other way you're going to be able to see DC like you can in this competition. And that they'll go over, you know, the details of it, but the scavenger hunt, I mean, the competition, the history, just, it's so cool. And I don't think it gets enough attention. So hopefully we can shed some light on that today.
Yeah. Look forward to hearing that part of the conversation for sure. And it, you know, being there for Dan Hill is definitely one of the highlights of my career. So you didn't oversell it by any means. And gosh, it was a while ago. And Banta was there then. Like, I think Banta goes every single year basically and represents Arizona.
Yep.
But he's a great guy to have as a mentor and like somebody that's been I don't know, around the block, let's say, when it comes to visiting DC and talking to like the senators, representatives, that type thing. Cause it is, I don't want to say it's life changing, but it definitely changes your perspective on things.
Definitely. And wear good shoes. If I learned one thing from that trip, wear comfortable shoes.
A lot of walking.
Yes.
Nice. How about you, producer Sean? What's new?
Not a lot. Venturing out. Think about starting a little side business with my daughter. she's got she's got the market cornered on these little fidget clicker things. It's kind of like you know how you get by like a 10 key, like a separate 10 key, but we make them with our 3D printer, and we make just like little 4 buttons at a time or 6 buttons at a time, and she can make them in different colors. And I bought the little switches that make them click like old school keyboards do. So that's what the kids like. So, you know, we try to make a couple dozen of them and put her out on the street and see if she can sell them.
There you go.
Etsy, you got
we're trying to get her her own little Etsy channel. Like there's a market out there, and we can make them completely in our house.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I will buy one from her. That sounds like something that I would like.
Oh, you would totally like.
We're on it.
Yeah.
Can we get our logo? Can we get our logo printed? That'd be great swag.
Absolutely. How do you think we are funding the materials for all this?
Can she make like 500 of them so we can give them away at conferences?
Different problem. I need a 3D printer room in order to pull that off.
Well, there you go.
What's new with you, my friend?
Oh man, I had a really great Mother's Day. It was super cool. Both my daughters had kids.
That's got to be like the best Mother's Day. It was like two new mothers that are your daughters.
Yeah. I almost tear up thinking about it, to be honest with you. It was really fun to give them Mother's Day gifts, you know, and that type.
Absolutely.
It was really, really cool. So that's been the highlight of my last week. Other than that, work's going good. Busy as can be. All the things. All right. This episode, as usual, is powered by Emlid, making aerial and terrestrial surveys faster and easier than ever before. To find out more, go to emlid.com. I kind of skipped over that.
You did,
plug.
But we do need to highlight. You did talk about TopoDot and the conference. So yeah. So TopoDot got their plug, is what you're saying. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Let's move on.
And you're looking forward to tomorrow again. Yeah, and the conference is going on right now. So if you happen to be listening or catch this live, you guys will be live tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, right?
Yeah, Thursday.
You will be live Thursday.
Yeah, okay. Russ and I are going to be tag teaming this one.
Nice.
So it'll be fun for sure. Yep. All right. Talk about that song of the week there, Sean.
New one for us. It had to be the first.
Oh, absolutely.
First
I didn't
artist
even know who Wanda Jackson was. So
I'm digging it. Wanda Jackson's song is "Let's Have a Party." Wanda Jackson is a pioneering American singer known as the Queen of Rockabilly. Yeah. Born in Maud, Oklahoma, she helped break barriers for women in early rock and roll with her fiery voice, bold stage presence, and hits like "Let's Have a Party" and "Fujiyami Mama." Actually, we heard that earlier too. That was pretty cool. Blending rockabilly, country, and gospel, Jackson became one of the first female stars of rock and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as an early influence in 2009.
That is pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Yep, and I'm a fan. I'm a new fan of Wanda Jackson.
I always like new music. I'm into it.
Some of that old classic stuff.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just got to incorporate that into your playlist.
I agree.
Yes.
Further making the Geoholics playlist that much more eclectic.
Yes. Great plug. The Geoholics playlist on Spotify is grown to over 17 hours of music at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who are just listening to us for the first time, every song from every episode is on that playlist in chronological order.
Yes.
So it's pretty
So if you can make it through all 17 hours, you'll be able to catch the song.
Good for like a really long road trip or a flight to Australia.
Yes. Might be coming up with one of those.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our song of the week is brought to you by All-Terra Central, your Trimble dealer for all things survey, mapping, and even marine gear. To find out more, check out allterracentral.com. All right. Next up, our Leica Geosystems weekly pro tip.
This is timely and on point, as you usually do for this week's episode. So here we go. Mentorship is a lot like good measurement. Accuracy improves when you have control. Whether you're chasing licensure, learning how to lead crews, manage clients, or building a career that actually lasts, don't try to figure it out all alone. Find someone who has been there, ask better questions, and be willing to listen.
I love it.
I really like the ask better questions and be willing to listen. That's a good mantra there.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think of that one, Will? You like that one?
I like that. It reminds me of the remember the guy we interviewed in Denver from Hawaii? He told us the Japanese secret.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Until you're 44, you don't know shit.
Yeah.
Your mouth shut. That's the Japanese secret.
Yeah, I still don't know shit.
That's great.
Leica Geosystems, when it has to be right. To find out more, simply go to leica-geosystems.com. Love our good friends at Leica.
We do. Let's get our guests in here.
Let's do that. Our guest this week is our guests this week are brought to you by David Evans and Associates. To find out more about the DEA difference, visit DEAinc.com. And there will be a few folks from DEA at Tuck. So I'm excited to
cool.
see a couple of those folks as well. I haven't seen in a while. We've got Alex Chose, born in Washington State, also spent time in Eastern Kentucky. She attended Western Washington University and also Bellingham Tech College, where she got an AAS in geospatial or geomatics engineering. Her current position, she's a project surveyor and land use department lead at Jepson Surveying. Her passions are community, camaraderie, and the preservation of our wild public lands and ecosystems, however you say that. We also got Taylor Shepley with us, born in rural central PA in a small village called Dornsife. I didn't know they had villages.
Yeah, I'm checking that out.
Check that out. Sounds like a movie. I don't know. Attended Penn State Wilkes-Barre. Is it Barrow Surveying?
Man, you're all over it today, aren't you?
Yeah, obviously I prepared well for this one. Where he participated in the Surveying Engineering Technology Program, graduated in 2014. His job is he's a technical sales consultant for Keystone Precision Solutions. Wow, we need to get those guys as a sponsor.
Yeah.
The local Trimble dealer in the Northeast U.S. His passions are mentoring the next generation of surveyors, which we're going to talk a lot more about. Alex, Taylor, welcome to the Geoholics. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
You betcha. So we'll kind of lay the groundwork. I'd love to hear your guys' 30-second nutshell version of your experience in DC. When was that? About a month ago?
Almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Go ahead, Alex.
Okay.
What were your takeaways?
Well, my experience in DC was a little different this year than other years. I didn't get to volunteer with the student competition. Washington was really on it, and we sent a student team, and they did a really great job at the competition. It was really nice to get to visit with them. But in lieu of volunteering with the student competition, I did Day on the Hill, and then I also attended some NSPS committee meetings on behalf of the mentorship committee.
Cool. Had you done the Day on the Hill before, or was that your first time?
I had, yes. That was my second.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. How about you, Taylor? What are your takeaways?
Yeah, so working with Keystone Precision, we provided some of the equipment that they used for the field exercises on the National Mall. And so I ended up getting to spend both days on the mall.
Cool.
I know it's terrible. I didn't get to walk 14 miles, but just being able to, have the survey equipment set up on the National Mall and like do surveying on the National Mall in the shadow of the Washington Monument. It's a surreal experience. We get there at 7:00 in the morning and the sun's coming up right behind it. It's so picturesque. Just unimaginable.
So cool. I love the smile on his face when he's telling that story.
Oh yeah, it is.
So you said it was a surreal experience. What were you thinking at that moment?
You do reflect a little bit on like the construction and the whole process and, surveyors coming before you and everything else. But then also, realizing that you're having 24 teams of college and high school students coming around doing the exact same thing that you're setting up in the morning. So, really gives a good perspective of, past, present, future.
It's awesome. How about you, Will? What were your takeaways?
Yeah,
Wait, did you have a good time? I didn't catch that.
Yes, okay. Absolutely. Yeah. It, like I said, there's so much going on. It's and the first time there, it's hard to take all in. But what I did take in was the amount of effort and work that these guys put into this. I mean, Taylor, I imagine getting all that equipment out there and the logistics of it are just. I mean, they really work well together, and they're from states really like 1,000 miles apart.
Right.
And so. It's, like I said, as an observer, just showing up, checking everything out. Mm-hmm. Like Alex, I got to go on Day on the Hill. I attended a couple of meetings, but then I pulled back and just wanted to go check out, the competition and the hunt that they did. And you guys did a lot of work. So good job.
So guys, talk a little bit more about the competition. Like set the stage for me a little bit. What was that? I mean, you guys are very familiar with it, but for myself and our audience, what is it and what was it like this year?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a 2-day competition. We had, I believe, 24 or 25 teams from schools all over the country, both high school and college. The college was broken out into associates and bachelor's programs, and they split it up. So half the teams one day did this monument hunt where they used some GIS software and basically went around the city trying to find as many benchmarks as they could, take a picture of it, post it on their social media page, and then upload it that they found it. And, it was the scoring was based on the difficulty to find it, how far outside the city you had to go. They did include some of the original boundary corners for DC, which was pretty cool.
Yes, that was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then the other half of the team was doing some field exercises on the National Mall. There was the robotic total station was a stakeout exercise. I believe they had like a boundary retracement with some GPS, as well as compass and chain. So, going old school, running a traverse with a compass and chain and a level loop this year.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What would you like to add, Alex? Oop,
no.
You're on mute.
Love it.
Okay. Well, as Taylor's recounting the structure of the student competition, I just keep thinking about past years of volunteering. Like I said, I didn't get to do a lot with the student competition this year, but what I have so admired about that experience is not just the enthusiasm from the young surveyors who are there competing, and they're just like kind of general stoke for all of these things that they're experiencing, but the level of strategy, like you cannot understate the level of strategizing that goes on within these teams. And it is thrilling to just behold. I had the pleasure of being the YSN person assigned to Puerto Rico's team for their monument hunt last year. And oh my gosh, we were jogging. We jogged all day.
Wow.
We jogged all day from monument to monument, and it was an intense strategy that they had mapped out the night before. I don't want to give away too many secrets, but there is this very adventurous, fun strategy, which is why there are rules that you don't get to rent scooters or bikes anymore. You're limited to foot and metro.
Oh, yeah.
They had to implement that rule.
Man, those kids are smart these days.
Yeah.
They will figure it out, right?
See why I was saying good shoes? See why I was saying good shoes?
Yeah.
So,
That's cool.
the excitement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Taylor.
I was just going to say we had a great team as far as the committee that planned the event this year. We did make a few adjustments from year to year, just growing pains and overall improvements. But I will say that it's put on by the Young Surveyors Network, and we had a large amount of volunteers, both new and returning, from the Young Surveyors Network all over the country this year. A lot of times it's, we're stretching the volunteers, right, to make sure that we at least have one member with each team, and this year we had over 40 volunteers. So kudos.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
That's amazing. Before we go any further, Taylor, what is your involvement with YSN?
So I'm the as well as co-chairing the mentoring committee with Alex. I'm also the state coordinator for Pennsylvania.
David Evans and Associates. This one's near and dear to my heart. I'll be honest with you. At DEA, they join their clients to make a positive difference. DEA is a recognized leader in the design and management of complex transportation, land development, water resources, and energy projects nationwide.
Great group of people over there.
Mm-hmm.
They combine the talents of engineers, surveyors, planners, hydrographers, landscape architects, and natural resource scientists to provide their clients access to a complete range of services.
DEA is consistently ranked among ENR's top 100 peer design firms in the U.S. and among leaders in many of their local markets.
That's right. To find out more, visit www.deainc.com.
Trimble Geospatial. For generations, surveying and mapping professionals have looked to Trimble Geospatial for the industry's most trusted hardware and software solutions. Designed by and for surveyors, Trimble solutions help customers work faster, safer, and more sustainably.
Dedicated to big thinking innovation, together with their worldwide distributor partners, The Trimble Geospatial team is working with current and future generations of surveyors for a more sustainable future.
To find out more, visit geospatial.trimble.com. And Alex, how about you? What's your involvement with YSN?
This is my third year being Washington's appointed state coordinator. So I'm the director of the YSN program here in Washington. And then on a national level, I co-chair the mentorship committee with Taylor.
Okay, perfect. So obviously you guys are very, very passionate about mentoring. The three of us are very passionate about mentoring. Let's get into that just a little bit, and why does mentorship matter so much in land surveying specifically? Who wants to go first?
Taylor can take it.
Okay. As we all know, the industry is hurting, right? And I think a lot of the pain that comes from it is because you have these one-man crews moving forward, right? So all of that mentoring of going up through the ranks from a chain man to a rod man to an instrument man, or however, where you are learning from your peers in your crew out in the field, that's kind of gone to the wayside now, where it's like, here's some gear, I'll give you 1 or 2 days to show you how to do it, and then you're on your own. So you can only learn so much yourself. You don't know what you don't know, and there's really no way to improve yourself without independent study, of course, but just being able to share those experiences from mentor to mentee, I think, is critical.
Sure. Yep. Well said. What would you like to add, Alex?
Why is mentorship so important in our industry? I mean, it is an age-old profession. It is something that has survived through time because we're willing to teach others and onboard others into this. Sorry, I live on a main arterial.
Oh, us too. It's okay. I thought it was us.
Great. It's you. It was you. Yeah, no, I think that it's just the longevity of this industry, of this profession, really is, it has thrived over time because we've been willing to onboard and teach new people. And I think just because we have the access to technology available to us doesn't remove the human experience of teaching and the importance that it is to learn from members of your community.
Right. Yeah, well said. So, interesting question. So to become like a professional surveyor, right? I mean, there's a lot that goes into doing that. And I'm very curious to get your perspective on this as well. What percentage of what you need to learn do you think you can learn in a classroom versus hands-on?
Well, I mean, traditionally, I think it was, a lot more in the field, right? Like Taylor was saying, you had a crew and it was kind of passed down and the technology wasn't as intense as it is now. But now, I mean, these algorithms and processing and all this stuff, you really can't learn that in the field. You've got to you need some education as a platform to build on. And so I think it's kind of 50-50 now. You need that field experience. I mean, the field experience is one thing, but like Taylor's saying, if they hand you some gear and you go out there by yourself and you don't know shit about it, you don't know shit about it. Mm-hmm. So you got to have somebody to help you out in that aspect. But you also have to do, like you said, you're self-learning to educate yourself through, if you're going to go to online school, if you're going to just do, take classes at conferences, however you're going to do it, you have to build up that fundamental skill set to be able to take that mentorship and use it.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's 50-50. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Taylor, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I want to kind of add to that with what Will's saying is understanding the why behind what you're doing. Right? You can go out and do topos all day long and not have a clue why you're doing it outside of, I just need to locate everything on site. So, understanding the why behind the work you're doing, understanding the why behind the equipment you're using, and ultimately the why behind why the work you're, the customer, what they're using it for. It's a learning process from start to finish.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What you got, Alex?
I think it's important to note also that there's very real science that indicates that not everyone is going to learn the same. Not everyone's going to read that textbook and totally get it. Not everyone's going to watch that video and be able to get kinesthetic with it. I think that there is something added to the mentorship experience by, like I said a minute ago, just that human connection, being able to really relate to someone and meet them where they're at and help them along because you took the time.
I know a lot of people, refer to surveying, of course, as a profession, but also it's so unique, right? There's also an art form when it comes to surveying, like the decision making that goes into it, that can't be taught in a classroom, like that you have to experience that.
Well, that was kind of my question based on what Taylor just said, like, and maybe and Alex is probably a good person to answer this. Do they teach the why when you're in school in a geomatics program? Like,
I mean, of course, like someone gives you a why for something, whether it's like boundary related or, boundary law related. But you don't have the context for it. You don't have the container for it yet. You don't have some of the dots in place that would otherwise connect to allow you to really understand that concept. So they can tell you the why as much as you want or as they want in the classroom, but that doesn't really mean it's going to stick, even for hungry learners.
Yeah. You got to have somebody in between that can, that number one can identify that you're having that, and they can recognize it, like, oh shit, I know, I've been there. I know what, here, let me tell you, let me give you a use case that I can explain this better to you. And you're like,
yeah,
oh, okay, like, thank you. Like, I think
someone to contextualize it a bit.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
One of our listeners said 30/70 class to field.
I would agree with that. I like that ratio, to be honest with you.
But I mean, I agree with Will's point too, though. Like, historically, that could have been 10/90, and now it's moving up to where you just can't teach, corrections and some of this some of this stuff is at a higher level that you kind of got to know a little bit of what's in the black box, and you're not doing that when you're outside trying to figure it out.
And I think that it also depends on the type of surveying you're doing, right? Like if you're doing large retracement surveys, breaking down sections, right? Like you got to know what the heck you're doing. It's like, I find this, you found this, okay, but I found that, I'm going to hold this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to proportion this, blah, blah, blah. You don't learn that in a classroom. Like that comes
100%,
from experience.
What do you think, Alex?
Oh, I also thought to add that, in survey programs, a lot of the instructors, maybe they're singular instructors, teaching an entire program, an entire history on surveying. They're going to say like, hey, I'm going to teach you this much, but I'm really banking on your employer to teach you this much. Like, I'm going to teach you this, but your employer is really going to teach you this. But then you get out of school and you get hired somewhere, and maybe it's a small team. Like maybe they don't have the bandwidth to like teach or train to the magnitude that you would have hoped for after listening to someone say for at least 2 years, like, I'm going to teach you this, but your employer is really going to teach you this. Yeah. And that's where mentorship comes into play.
Right. Absolutely. And Alex, talk a little bit about your application process, because the application process really pairs you well with, just like you're saying, Kent, like I might be a boundary survey. I don't want to get paired up with guys scanning in, another part of the country. We really don't have a connection.
Well, let's introduce the program really first.
Yeah. Well, let me actually, before you do that, one important point. When you say Kent, he's not an option for a mentor.
He doesn't have time.
He's a little lack of responsive. So he's off the table. But everybody else,
Kent's an amazing mentor. He just needs to figure out how to clone himself, basically.
Fair. Yeah. But please introduce the program.
Yeah, talk about the program, and then we'll get into it.
I'll let the
who wants to introduce
the brains behind the operation
YSN mentorship program?
Go ahead, Alex.
How do we want to introduce this program? It's the NSPS YSN National Mentorship Program. It's a coast-to-coast and territory-inclusive mentorship program that pairs mentees, early career professionals, with experienced seasoned land surveyors. And there are metrics that we use to match folks so that we can optimize their experience, both as mentors and mentees. And some of those metrics are state, time zone, and topics of interest. It's not always going to be guaranteed that someone gets matched with someone from their state, although that is the hierarchy of matching metrics. So we then narrow it down to time zone, and ultimately the third metric tier, but the meatiest of them is, what topics are you looking to cover? And Will can attest to this. In the application, we have folks pick 6 topics at least that they feel either very qualified to cover, or on a mentee's side, really interested in learning more about how to grow into. And that is obviously not limited to state or time zone. So if someone's got a specific need or a niche interest or a niche combination of things that they're looking to cover, we have the ability to hand select mentorship pairings, which mean that someone from the West Coast can get hand paired with a mentor from the East Coast that is specifically qualified to meet their mentorship request.
Gotcha. Now, is this the second year of it?
Correct. Last year was our pilot program.
Yep. And now I understand like the results of the pilot program were amazing, right? Like there was a lot of success stories that came out of that. And I think when I read, like 100% of the questionnaire respondents said they would recommend it for their peers. So my goodness, I mean, what more of a boost of confidence do you need than that?
Yeah, I mean, Will was our guinea pig, right? So anything Will can say about the program as a mentor from last year in the pilot, I'd take his word for it, right?
Yeah. No, it was great, like I said. And, it was a pilot program. So my mentee and myself were both kind of time crunched this summer when it was going on, but we made it work, right? Like it just, and that's reality, right? Like, he's busy, I'm busy, but we get the gist of it. We made it work. And I don't want people to shy away from it because they think it's more paperwork or it's more this and that. But yes, you have to commit yourself.
What would you think that commitment was? Time-wise.
From a mentor perspective.
Yeah, from a mentor perspective.
It was probably like, when we would start talking, it's just like us talking. Like it would go on too long to where we're just telling stories and, but you do enough of those and you build that confidence level, that relationship to where when something gets crazy, they have the comfort to call you and ask you about it or text you or something like that.
Yeah.
So again, it's just the repertoire of the interaction. And then it's like, oh yeah, this guy, like he knows what he's doing. And on my end, I'm like, there you go, man. Yes. Keep digging at that. And, let me point you in the right direction for some resources or whatever else. But, and like I said,
that's cool.
It compounds, right? So he was just texting me last week.
Who is your mentee?
Remember?
We hung out.
What was his name?
John Very.
That's right. That's right. We saw him in Denver.
Yes.
Yeah, we saw him in Denver.
Yeah. Shout out to John. He went to Ferris State, I believe.
Yeah, he's sharp.
And just like I said, and I'm sure you guys have a dozen other use cases. Did you guys participate as well?
I was just going to ask that.
That's all right.
No, the time constraints and just kind of building the program, maintaining it, filtering questions and everything. It was enough to keep us busy.
Of course.
Not saying that, I do have mentors outside of this program, which it's funny to kind of reflect on because looking back, all of my, previous party chiefs and bosses in some capacity were mentors, whether I realized it at the time or not. So I think it gave me a lot of perspective on, what to do and even sometimes what not to do. Right. So it was really, really interesting building this program and kind of doing some self-reflection on my career so far, 10 years in.
Yeah. So Alex, how about you? Did you participate in the program or were you helping to manage the program?
I stuck to the admin corner for last year's pilot program. Felt like our hands were pretty full with trying to launch a national initiative. But there was a lot of enthusiasm for participating as a mentor or a mentee. And like I said, I opted to be an admin, but I think this year, both my mentor and I are going to be participating. We'll see if we get matched up, but mentors have existed outside of the program and it's imperative. And we can talk more about structured mentorship.
Yeah, well, one thing I want to talk about when it comes to mentorship is that, I'm convinced it's a two-way street, right? Like it's the mentee is benefiting from the mentor, of course, but the mentor is benefiting from the mentee as well, right? Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah. One of the things that I think we had in the packet is and it was even discussed last year in some of the feedback meetings, is, being a mentor doesn't necessarily mean having the answers to all the questions, but more so having a direction to help them find that answer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Networking is a huge part. Your mentee comes and says, "Hey, I'm looking for some experience in DOT." Well, I haven't done anything in DOT, but I know a guy that does. Let me connect you with him. It's not about having all the answers. It's just about how to find them.
Oh yeah,
that's great advice.
Yeah,
great
absolutely,
advice. Yes.
Absolutely. So my understanding is that this year's program, the 26 program, includes topics like licensure, certification, leadership, work-life balance, time management, and business ownership. Which of those topics do you guys see or think that young surveyors seem most hungry to learn more about right now?
The feedback that we got from last year's pilot program shows us that leadership and work-life balance, as well as time management, and the importance of licensure and certification are the top 3 topics that most pairings gravitated towards. That tells us that they're the hungriest for those. I mean, licensure is a big conversation on a national level for a lot of reasons beyond just the importance of being licensed in this profession. There's a lot of changes afoot. So I think a lot of people are very curious to learn more.
Yeah. And how would you say, what's the sales pitch for the program? What do you guys think is the main objective for anybody getting involved with the program? I mean, I'm sure it's not just to make a friend. There's got to be something more than that, right?
No, I mean, it's to make yourself better, a better surveyor, a better person, a better teacher, a better learner. Yeah. And I mean, networking, sure. But I think as surveyors and as professionals, we're always continuously trying to make ourselves better in every capacity possible. Right. So that's my push. You want to make yourself better, find a mentor.
Yep. I love that. And what do you guys think it takes to be a good mentor? And on the flip side, what do you think it takes to be a good mentee?
As a mentor, I think you just need to put yourself in that position, right? And it's, for me, I never had anybody really to ask, or I was afraid to ask, and it was never a thing, right? So I just try to man, I would just love to answer every question that my 23-year-old butt would want to ask and not feel embarrassed to ask in front of a bunch of professionals, right? Yeah. So I think that's, it's important, you got to have somebody you can talk to and ask these questions without everybody listening.
Right. So. Yeah. That's an interesting perspective. What about from the mentee side? What do you think it takes to be a good mentee?
I think it helps to be driven, and I think that it helps to be humble. I think that humility can go a long way, knowing where you're at so that you can accurately convey to someone so that they can meet you where you're at and help take you to where you want to go. I think humility, I also think drive and a sense of curiosity about what this profession can bring and what you want to accomplish within it.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier that it does take a commitment. I mean, you talked about from your perspective, Alex and Taylor, what do you think from the mentee's perspective? How much time and what kind of commitment do you, I would say the same word again, but how much time do you need to commit to I guess succeed in this program? Is it just a phone call, or what do you say?
We ask mentorship pairs to schedule at least 1 hour together every other week.
Okay.
That's the minimum ask. I found that in meeting with a lot of different pairings that some people were meeting much more frequently than that, weekly and 3 hours long. And because there is a framework for flexible engagement, people are just meeting when it works best for them. So lots of flexibility there, lots of approachability too.
And we have a question, not to cut you off, but we have a quick question on the schedule. Is it too late to sign up?
No.
How do you join, and what's the cutoff, or you can just pop in at any time?
We are open. The applications are open for the entire month of May. And if you're on LinkedIn, which I think it seems like a lot of surveyors are, there's a lot of materials circulating, QR codes, URL links to the applications themselves, as well as the program overview. And we are working with NSPS to get those on the website as well.
Cool.
Nice.
And just to clarify, is it just for land surveyors, or is there other folks in there, like maybe even like folks in the GIS realm of things, or folks that are in the reality capture world? I mean, what, just kind of nail it down for me. Who's invited?
So, I mean, the key cards or discussion topics that we have are focused more on the soft skills. So it's not a very technical based program by any means.
Okay.
So I think a lot of the key cards that we're doing are open to the various branches of the industry.
Okay.
I think the biggest hurdle, it is built, by surveyors, right? So there is the surveying focus, but I know we did have a few applicants on both mentors and mentees last year that said, they have a GIS background, or they're looking to gain more experience in GIS or bathymetry or, drones. And that's the nice thing is, like, yes, there is some automation to the application process, but once the automation's done, like Alex and I and Nolan and other members of the committee, we're going through each of these pairings to see, like, this is what the computer says. Is there something better?
Interesting.
Cool. So, like, people listening, whether, you think some people might be afraid to be a mentor because maybe they're like, I don't know enough to be a mentor. I've been in the business for 10 years. Am I someone that should be a mentor? Somebody who should be a mentee? What would you say to somebody that's kind of on the fence?
Yeah, because you can come in at any level, right? Like, you actually might be a better mentor if you're closer to where that person is at, because you have more direct experience with what they're experiencing, where somebody that's already, 20 years out, on a good job on their way out might not have that same advice to give to someone that hasn't been there just as quick. So I think on the mentor platform, if they're willing to, give the advice and help the next person.
But it's not an either or, right? Yeah. We could be both.
Oh yeah. Yes, definitely.
I mean, just like
there's
like
no age limit to be a mentee, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's an important point. We say that, but it's not. And in your case, like that, and I'm sure there's some stuff that you're getting from your mentor that you're passing to your mentee as it's your own, and as you should.
And we have crossovers. We have people changing professions midlife, and so they're
oh sure,
that's a whole nother and they need the mentorship too. So
for sure.
The key cards that we have, like, it's not just like pick 6 topics and then here you go. We do have the key card structure where it gives, a little background information about what, this soft skill necessarily is. And then we have some guidance questions that kind of get the conversation started. So, you're not just signing up and trying to come up with conversations yourselves. A lot of times these conversations naturally occur, but we do have structures in place to help guide the conversation if needed.
Mm-hmm.
We did get feedback from folks going into the pilot program, unsure what it was going to look like. And you're like, do we have to, we're really like flying solo here, like leading this meeting. What are we going to talk about? Like, no. Look at the key cards. We have tried really hard to create a system and a structure that makes this really easy for everyone. Vulnerability in conversations can be hard enough. Like, trying to structure the conversation and provide guidance is just added pressure. So like Taylor said, in the key cards, we give you what the soft skill is, why it's important within the industry, and then pages sometimes, depending on the key card, of questions to get you started in conversation, or to give participants an opportunity to look through the questions before their meeting and maybe identify a few that they really want to hone in on in their conversation.
Alex, you mentioned earlier about the structure, and I kind of want to dive in a little bit about that. Like, having personally tried and did not do it well to pull off a mentor program at my firm, like, give us the highlights first. Like, you can't mention, structured versus not structured. I'm sure you have some thoughts on how do you structure it? How do you set one up, and what's the key components?
Yeah. So, First of all, we worked really closely with FIG, the International Federation of Surveyors, in developing this program. FIG had put together a mentorship program in both Africa and Australia, and they were kind enough to share their structure with us, let us look over their materials so we could kind of get a sense for how they were engaging within the industry, and what kind of mentorship was enriching in those regions. And that is a big part of how our program is modeled. And then the added layer of how this particular program is modeled is based on the fact that all of us putting it together are in our own experiences like young surveyors. I'm a second career surveyor. This is not my first career rodeo. I am a 30-something professional who is really used to being like in it. So to start over brand new and require a lot of guidance in my 30s as a professional, like, oh man. But like, to an extent, it felt like starting over. So this program is also informed by experiences like that young surveyors here in the U.S. are having, and we built this program out of it. So structurally informed by existing mentorship under the umbrella of FIG, and then in practice, it's run by people who then themselves are hungry for mentorship and whose early career experiences are being actively informed by it every day.
Gotcha. So just to clarify, you don't have to be a member of NSPS or YSN, I suppose, to be a part of this program, correct?
You do. You do.
Okay.
Mentees agree to sign up for YSN when they are signing their application form.
Okay, fair enough.
It helps.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like auto-enrolling people, like you really need to do this anyway, so we're just going to take care of that for you.
Yeah, and I mean, it's really just a networking opportunity, right? We're not going to be spamming you with emails about, your car's extended warranty or anything like that.
No, it's just keeping
That's
folks
what they all say.
connected to the network, connected to things that we're doing and things that we're offering for young surveyors.
Yeah. Right. What else here? I'm going to go with the questions now.
Let's talk about the numbers. You had the pilot program, so this is your first year. I mean, what's the engagement like currently? How many? Do you count it in pairs or people that are involved? How do you track it?
So last year we had allocated 100 seats of the software platform that we're using to do the matching as well as scheduling all of the meetings, and it's kind of like an add-on to your Google Outlook calendars, etc. Basically, as the mentor, you say these are the times I'm available throughout the week. You can do it as far out or as short as you need to, and then the mentee comes in and says, "Hey, I want to meet this time." And then it gives you the opportunity to either automatically create a calendar invite or just send a notification saying, hey, they picked this time. And then you guys can coordinate. If you want to do it via Teams, via Zoom, via phone call, in person, we're not restricting on how you guys are meeting, just so long as everyone is meeting. Right. And then this year we've upped our seat count to 250. We had some interest forms go out early in the year, and I think we had 60 or 70 people fill out just the interest form. Applications went live March 1st, so we're still kind of starting to trickle in, the early birds for sure. But I'm anticipating, between this and our other marketing efforts for that to really blow up.
Yeah, that's cool. So I'm so curious. I'm going off on a tangent here, but Alex, what was your career before you switched to surveying?
I was in land preservation and supporting farm work and regional food systems.
Okay, interesting.
So what's the connection? How did you just wake up one day and be like, you know what? Surveying. That's it for me.
The surveyor fairy made an appearance the night before.
My new Halloween costume.
Yeah, right. Sprinkled some survey pixie dust.
I with the involvement in land and agriculture, and also my own personal passions for preservation and my own interests in recreating land And I got involved in a casual conversation with a friend after I was looking at a master's program in urban planning and feeling really reluctant to leave where I live. I love where I live. It's a true gem, true hidden gem still.
There you go.
And I was not ready to leave for this master's program. So I wondered, what can I do that is adjacent to this future plan that allows me to stay exactly where I am and tap into my existing interests and passions. And that's how I learned about land surveying.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah.
Tell us about a mentor that's made a difference in your career.
A mentor that's made a difference in my career. Here on a local level, I am involved in the Land Surveyors Association of Washington's board of directors. I work collaboratively with the board of directors to build and guide the Young Surveyors Network here at home. And that experience has been so formative and invaluable to get to meet regularly with this group of industry leaders in my region.
Is it us or is it her?
It's probably me.
That's fine. Keep going.
You're back. You're back.
Good.
I'm back. Okay.
That's what happens when you're in a remote, cool town in Northwest Washington.
Yeah, you get a lot of motorbikes. A lot of motorbikes and BNSF trains.
That makes sense.
Yeah. The room of board of directors, and then getting to spend time with those folks. Mike McEvely is our NSPS director from Washington. Mike's been a big mentor of mine as I'm learning and growing through this profession. It's always really nice to have a team of people to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. How about you, Taylor? Is there a mentor that has made an impact in your life, in your career so far?
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, each of my previous bosses really provided insight throughout my career. But I think I had 2 jobs with the same boss, and he had a civil engineering and surveying background. So I learned a lot from him. He was very patient, very thorough, and really made you sit down and say, again, figuring out the why behind it. It's not just like, oh, this isn't working, we'll blame it on solar flares. Let's figure out why it's not working. So he taught me patience. He taught me to pay attention to detail more so than what I already thought I was. And he taught me a lot on the engineering side, which really gave value to the survey work that I was doing in that perspective, as like where my work ends up going and what ends up happening from it.
That's awesome. Civil engineer that's patient and thorough.
Yeah,
I hope to meet one of those.
You lost me there.
I'm married to an engineer, and she's neither of them.
That's correct.
He was the surveyor first, so
it makes sense.
Now it makes sense. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I do want to ask also, you guys, Alex, when you were mentioning the 3 most, the highest mentioned topics, the one that you didn't mention was business ownership. Is that something that the folks aren't interested in, or is it just lower on the list? Because we always talk about the surveyors are terrible business people. Do you see that?
Except for Will.
What are you guys doing to break that cycle is really my main question.
It's new. It's a new topic. It's a new topic to this year's program. So we don't have a stat for it from last year. But we did receive feedback from participants in last year's pilot program that was a topic of interest that they would like. And we explored it some more, and we put together a key card for it. And we've talked to our peers, other state coordinators from across the country. And those coordinators who were mentors in last year's program are going to be enrolling as mentees in this year's program. One in particular, specifically because of the entrepreneurship key card set.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, that is super cool. I love this question. And I'm anxious to hear your response. Will, as well. If every seasoned surveyor listening agreed to mentor just one young surveyor this year, how would that change the future of this profession?
Well, it's the same as going to a school, right? Like if you go to a school and there's 100 kids there and just one kid or 2 kids pick it up, they're going to tell their friends. And then if you go the next year, 4 of them, and it just, like I said, it's going to multiply. And I think it's the same with the mentorship. So yeah, because everyone comes home and they vent and they talk to whoever they live with about their day and
their shitty boss,
whoever, you know. If you live with the surveyor, you know about surveying. Like, just
yeah, we still got to do the Wives of Surveyors episode. That's so good. How about you, Alex?
Yeah.
What's your response to that question about if every seasoned surveyor would take the time to mentor a younger surveyor? How would that change things?
I mean, we talk about it all the time, not just as young surveyors, but I feel like I've heard it from large rooms of seasoned professionals, how important mentorship is to this profession.
Right.
And I think that there's a lot of folks who get on LinkedIn and they shout into the ether about their knowledge or their opinions. And instead of putting their knowledge into like a comment form scattered across this platform, what if you treated it a little more intentionally? And what if you put it in a container that's invested in the growth of a young surveyor who's hungry for that knowledge? I think that it gives your own knowledge a sense of purpose and direction, as well as the mentee that's going to be open to receiving it.
I love that point.
Yep.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, love that one.
Yep.
I got one more.
What about Taylor? What's your answer
Taylor,
to
I'm
that
sorry.
question?
Can you get it out?
No, that's I think that's great, and I think that's exactly what we're striving to do. You know, we can build this program together and have it grow, and that's great. But ultimately, like, I would love to see every single surveyor out there take somebody under their wing with, you know, intentionally with good intentions and say, I want to teach you. And if everybody does that, you know, as much as I love this program, we wouldn't need it, right? Because everybody would be, you know, doing it on their own to really, you know, grow the industry. And I would love to see what the industry is going to look like in 5-10 years from now if everybody would do that.
Esri. Esri is the global market leader in geographic information system software, location intelligence, and mapping.
Yeah, they take a geographic approach to problem solving brought to life by modern enterprise-grade GIS technology.
Beyond sophisticated maps and advanced geospatial analytics, Esri technology enables faster data sharing and more fluid collaboration.
That's right. They make the world's most powerful GIS software. To find out more, visit Esri.com. One of our newest friends of the program, Emlid. Emlid is a company specializing in high-precision RTK GNSS receivers and software solutions for various industries, including, of course, land surveying, construction, and drone mapping.
As our weekly episode sponsor, their product lineup features the Reach RS3, a survey-grade receiver with IMU tilt compensation. That's a big deal. The Reach RX, an ultralight multiband RTK rover, and the Reach RS2 Plus, a versatile multiband RTK GNSS receiver suitable for both rover and base station applications.
Well done. Well done. That was a mouthful. Emlid offers software tools such as Emlid Flow, a mobile app for data collection in the field, Emlid Flow 360, a cloud-based application for project management, and Emlid Studio, free software post-processing kinematic, static, and drone data.
To learn more, simply visit emlid.com. I'm curious, like you've mentioned FIG and having conversations with the folks at that level. What do mentorship programs look like in other countries? And are they more successful than what we're doing?
I don't know if we can speak to the Africa or Australia program too much. I do believe that their programs were smaller, but it was structured a little differently. It wasn't one-on-one mentorship, I don't believe. I believe it was more kind of group.
Yeah.
Like one mentor to a series of mentees, kind of more a group environment. But I could be wrong on that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. You got something, Sean?
No, go ahead.
Nope.
What about like Sean was saying that he tried to build something like this within his company? Would there be a chance for companies to come on as a company, or is it
or maybe just get some resources? Like I think we need help.
Yeah, exactly.
We are hearing more and more about kind of like pop-up mentorship programs or more small-scale mentorship programs, similar to what you've shared, trying to start. We're getting feedback from folks. They're like, oh, I want to build a mentorship program for my company. Can I participate in this program and get an idea for how to start? Or Alicia in North Carolina connected us to a group of students who wanted to start a state-level mentorship program. And she encouraged them to participate in the National Mentorship Program to see if it overlapped with what they were trying to build on a state level. And if so, then is there kind of more of like a state level initiative for national participation? And I know that that's what's happened here in Washington. Washington was interested in having a state level mentorship program. And I said, just come check this out. And now we've got a ton of Washington interest in a national mentorship program. So yes, there is something to be said for the small scale programs. We still need them. I think communities in offices, in towns, in regions still need that connection. And I think that it's inevitable that the programs could be different enough that they would be beneficial to someone who participated in each.
Sure.
Now, what if it's like, oh, yeah, sure, we'll show you how to set up a program. You just got to be a mentor first for us for a couple years, and then we'll show you the keys.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you've got all the resources already there. So, yeah. I could see that working out good.
For sure. Definitely. All right. Call to action time. This is your guys' opportunity to really sell this thing. Applications for this year's National Mentorship Program are open through the end of this month, I believe is what you said. For anyone that may be on the fence, whether it be a mentor or a mentee, what would be your direct message to them right now?
Why not?
What are you waiting for? Yeah.
Yeah. I was waiting for a shit or get off the pot comment or something like that.
No, I mean, the only thing that's holding you back is yourself, right? You know, you need to be a sponge. Whether you're a mentor or a mentee, like you're going to learn things. So if you don't want to learn, don't join the program, but who doesn't want to learn? Right.
Love it.
It's a nice way to say shit or get off the pot.
There you go. I like it. Yeah. Politically correct.
I think about how no one's going to hand you the key to success. You know, no one's going to one day say like, you've arrived. Like you've got to have some like self-motivation, some self-actualization. And I think that this program is a really great way to live that, to show up for yourself, to show up for the profession, to show up for your future, whether you're a mentor or a mentee. Again, like what are you waiting for? There's a real wealth of knowledge here in this program. And as someone who administers it and gets to look at all of the applicants, it is wild to see the wealth of knowledge show up that is the mentor list. It is so inspiring, and it is so cool to be like, wow, someone's going to get to learn from every single one of these folks. Or like, every single one of these incredible people is going to get to imprint their knowledge on someone. And what an experience to get to be a part of that. Yeah. So it's cool. It's an impressive list. There's a lot of knowledge there, and all you got to do is sign up to be a part of it.
And it is open to everyone.
There you go.
Yeah, so like,
it just doesn't sound like there's a downside here. Like
there's no downside.
Have nothing.
So I expect to see each of your names on that list by the end of the night.
I'm already up. I'm already signed up.
I knew that's where this was going. 1 hour every 2 weeks, Mr. Busybody.
How about our mentee would get half Sean, half me?
Oh, jeez, that is a messed up person.
You and I need to tag team.
I feel bad for that poor person. All I have to say.
That would be awesome.
Sean, do you mind talking a little bit about the program that you tried? What you saw worked, what didn't work?
Oh, sure.
It was good right up until Kent left.
Yeah. I was working. When Kent was working for me, it was going just great, and then he left, and it all fell apart. No, it actually what lacked it. We had great intentions. We met. We borrowed shamelessly some structure. We had a time, we had the whole thing. And then we had some interest, and then it just fizzled, and there was no follow up, and it falls on my shoulders and some of the other leaders at our company. But we I think it was even my idea. And we created the whole thing. And then, we didn't follow up with how it went and made sure that we got the feedback. And then it was time for, another year. And there just wasn't that
it's a lot of
emphasis, but it also because it comes from my level and down, and the leadership team didn't prioritize it and didn't make sure that we followed through with it and made sure that, there was some follow-up feedback and another round to kind of get more experience with everybody. So it wasn't the start, it was the execution.
Fair enough. I look at the program that we've been talking about here as it's really a privilege, to be honest with you, to be a part of it, because as, maybe a seasoned surveyor, this is your opportunity to give back to the profession. Maybe you haven't done a whole lot of that. Maybe you haven't been involved with your state organizations, that type thing. This is a great opportunity to pay it forward, pay back the profession that's been so good to you.
Well, especially when you hit your middle ages, you start to reflect a little bit and think about legacy and what you have your imprint on. And if you have any doubts there, one good way is to be a mentor and to at least give some knowledge to somebody else. So.
Yeah. When you've seen somebody struggle, it's just like, oh, I just wish, man, if I could just show you this one thing. Like, have you ever heard of surveying? Like, they don't even know it's out there, and they're killing themselves for something else. And then when that light bulb moment goes off, and that's awesome. And so, like I said, we've all been there. You wish you would have had someone say, grab you by the ear and go, no, come over here. I know you don't even know what it is, but come over here and check this out. Wow, that's pretty cool. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I only have to see my boss twice a day? Sweet.
What more can I ask for?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But again, like Alex was saying, it's up to you. And you'll never evolve if you're not involved. So you got to get involved with this stuff and
get involved.
Absolutely.
Love it. That's all I've got. Alex, Taylor, you guys got anything else you want to get out there that we haven't maybe talked about? Maybe one more time, tell folks how they can find out more.
Telling folks how they can find out more. Please look at the materials that are getting circulated around LinkedIn, around Instagram. We're getting them put up on the website. So, there's QR codes to the mentor application, the mentee application, and then the program overview. Take a look at the program overview, see if it seems like something you're interested in. Fill out an application form. It's harmless. Worst case scenario, we'll match you to someone who really wants to learn from you.
Yep. Doesn't hurt a bit.
No, application takes you maybe 5 minutes to fill out. So
I might have time for that.
Hey, look at you.
Yeah. And then if you do have any questions, you can email us at nsps.mentorship@gmail.com.
Nice.
Free plug, don't get used to it, right?
Yeah, I love it. That's what we're here for.
And what's the duration of the program? How long is it again?
We're allowing for some more onboarding time this go around. So the program sessions itself will go from August through to the first week of November. So about 3 months.
Yeah, cool. Not bad at all.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, awesome. It's 6 sessions over, that every 2-week period, 1 session every 2 weeks over, and with 6 sessions, and 1 or 2 like group meetings scheduled with more information to come on that. I do want to give a special shout out to everyone on the mentorship committee, both from last year and this year. Last year was Tim, Logan, Alex, Stacy, Kat, Nolan. They all played a pivotal part in developing the key cards and helping build the pilot program to what it is now. And then this year we have Alicia and Dan and Lucas, right? Luke,
Lyman Grover.
Yeah. So, just thanks to everybody for helping build the program and make it be successful. So
it definitely takes a village to make something like this successful.
Yes. They have a great team. Yeah.
I can tell.
Nolan. Shout out to Nolan. He looked like he was so tired, sunburned after that first day out there on the courtyard. And Luke also, those guys, like I said, you have a great team. I envy the enthusiasm in your team. So just keep rolling with it and keep up the good work, because it's awesome.
Thank you.
For sure.
All right. Lots
What
of good
else?
stuff.
You got anything else, Sean?
I do. We got to wrap this up. It's been over an hour. This is about YSN and
It's almost
and
past
the youth.
Sean's bedtime.
Well, we also lose the attention span of the younger folks after too long. But I do have one more question before we let you guys go. I'm going to ask it to Alex, because I think she's going to have a good one. Do you have a mantra that you live by?
Oh my. No.
When in doubt,
don't-
change careers.
Yeah. Don't live life by what you feel like is a big one, but I struggle with that one.
Love
So we'll see. It'll come to me in like 20 minutes when we're done here. Don't worry.
Yeah, shoot us an email. We'll add it to the list. We'll add it to the list.
We'll add it to the book we're going to publish with all these mantras.
Yeah, but I think the main one of today may be just shit or get off the pot.
I like that one.
Yeah,
I like that one. Very good. You got one,
Love
Taylor?
Be the person that you wish you would engage with. I don't have a good way to say it.
I really thought you were going to go with be the change you wish to see.
That's what I thought too.
You know, it's a branch off of that, but I always try to engage with people the way that I want them to engage with me. So
kind of like the golden rule, right?
Yeah, be the change you wish to see in the golden rule.
I love it. Good stuff. Well, hey, Alex, Taylor, thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you for everything you're doing. I know there's a
absolutely
ton of work, and Will, also thanks to you, man. Like I know you do a lot for this program, and it takes folks like your guys' selves to keep this thing going, and grow it. So thank you guys very much.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you guys.
You betcha.
You gonna take us out here, buddy?
Yes, I am. Adding value, making friends. Check both those boxes. Made a couple new friends.
Oh, yeah.
Added a shit ton of value. Really excited about this episode. If anyone would like to be a guest on a future show, shoot us an email at info@thegeoholics.com. Huge thanks to our featured friends of the program, Altair Central, David Evans and Associates, Emlid, Diamondback Land Surveying, Trimble, Leica, Topodot, Mach 9, and 4M Analytics. Wanda Jackson, let's have a party.
Let's have a party.
Available everywhere. Until next time, everyone, I got a couple good takeaways here. We don't know what we don't know. Be humble and vulnerable. Be intentional when sharing your knowledge. The only thing holding you back is yourself. No one is going to hand you the key to success.
I like that.
All good stuff. Most importantly, as always, be safe and healthy, everyone.